And we are live. Welcome everyone to session 3 of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, Gays in Space. We just left off with the party along with the accompanying, not princess. For some reason I keep wanting to say Jules is a princess, but no, she's not. Have arrived at Crossroads to track down Mindy Morgaghi, heir to the Morgaghi Noble Corp, and missing fiance, or bride, I guess, given that the wedding's imminent. If we could go around and introduce everyone, ourselves. I'm Kyle, your GM. He, him. Puckett. Sorry, not Puckett. I was looking at you, Ferret, and I said the wrong word.
I am Ferret, also known as Sawyer. I use he, him pronouns for ease, but any pronouns with respect are fine by me. I am playing Princess Magnolia Nebula, the 37th in line for the throne, and probably soon to be kidnappee.
Excellent. Puckett for real this time.
Ahem. Ahem. Hi, I'm Puckett. He, him pronouns. I am playing Knight Adria, the Order of the Queen's Rose, a gallant, stalwart, duty-bound soldier who is carrying out her duty, as only the duty-bound truly can carry out duty. Moving right along.
All right, Sabine.
Yay, you got it right this time. Hello, I'm Sabine. I'm playing Dr. Parallel Phlogiston, who's a spooky witch, which means that she's a scientist and she is not mad or anything. That is just slander, and she has a standing order against that, I imagine. She is also, for some reason, a Knight of the Queen. Dr. Parallel Phlogiston usually uses they pronouns when they can remember. They were a bit surprised and still haven't figured out what they're doing here, but it seems nice. And also there is this dutiful Knight Adria, who's very dutiful and very devoted to her duty, which is pity, because there could be something else there, except for dude. No, probably not. I'm silent now.
All right, Bethany.
Yeah, hi, I'm Bethany. Use they, them pronouns, or any, yeah, as Ferret said, with respect. And I am playing, let me look at the name, Emil, the Seeker, who is a kind of a refugee from, I said space Amish, but actually the thing I had more in mind was like from an entire world that's basically like one of those creepily charming, quaint towns. Think like the town in Hot Fuzz, maybe. I don't know if it's quite that dark, the whatever secret they have, but they definitely have some secrets that are less quaint and charming. Yeah, they're not sure what they're doing here either. They thought they knew, but then it turned out that no, that was all a misunderstanding. So they're just really not sure why they're here, and they're feeling kind of adrift. But they had a really nice conversation with Dr. Parallel Phlogiston, and maybe they're thinking about that conversation, I think.
Alrighty. Last but not least, Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. They're he. I'm playing Taylor Luthon, who is also a sort of exile type, seeker type character, but is instead the scion of one of the major noble corps, East Rim.
Okay, and the last member rounding out your party to the NPC is Jules. Jules Logana, the de facto heir to the Red Star Space Army, one of the bigger military forces in the area, who was going to be in a political marriage with Mindy Morgaggi, and you all were ordered to break that up, and then Mindy Morgaggi fled on her own, and you're helping Jules track her down. So let's see exactly how creep this mission gets. Or how much mission creep. Okay. So we left off with you all approaching Crossroads Station. It's a pretty massive space station that sits at the intersection of a number of major trade routes. So it pretty much it was built and exists just to sustain all the different transit lines going through here. So it's the space longshore people have a couple days to blow here, and it's entertainment. It's a lot of hotels, transit things. Just it lives and dies by trade as you're getting close. You have any questions or anything you're looking into in particular as you go into dock at the station?
How wretched a hive of scum and villainy is it?
That depends entirely on which section you go to, because there is definitely a higher class district that caters to the nobility and the noble corp elite and stuff, and then there's the let's call it the budget section that is noticeably unpoliced, and intentionally so.
I have an idea about where Mindy went.
Great. Do you want to tell the group?
Well, considering what she's doing, I don't think she would have been going anywhere near any section that had any Noble Corp members in it. So I'm figuring that she probably headed out past the budget section into the straight up broke section. Because who'd recognize her there?
I feel this is a very this sounds very reasonable. We should also go down and encounter these rogues. I have no experience with those, I might add.
This does sound like it could work, but I'm not sure if a Morgaggi would slum. I mean, they never called me to slum with them.
I can't imagine why. Oh, did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to. Sorry.
She sounded.
Why don't we try to find some information about this Rebecca person? If Rebecca already has a home or a place of business established, they may be hiding there.
Also reasonable. I will try to find something out. There, maybe the Morgaggi system has some offsprings over here, or this station has some similar intelligence guiding it benevolently. Sorry, language is not my forte. Not a linguist, doctor.
Jules, do you have any sources here?
Well, not exactly. I mean, there are some arms manufacturers who, supply us with weapons and ammo and that sort of thing. I think they've probably got some offices here for, coordination and stuff, but I've never actually been here myself. Mom didn't want me to fraternize with the enlisted here.
But that's how you have the most fun. I mean, I haven't gotten to really have a whole lot of fun, but whenever I got an opportunity, hanging out with the new recruits was usually the most fun because they hadn't had the sense of fun beaten out of them yet.
Either way, I think it would be best, with so much space to cover, to split up a bit and maybe take different districts, though I am wondering, Emil, do you have any knowledge that might help us with this? Anything that you can think of?
Only that I don't think she would. I don't think what we need to worry about is whether a Morgagi would slum or not. She sounded desperate enough that I don't think she would care.
Makes sense. I mean, you are the one who escaped most recently, and I think you did quite a lot to do that.
To escape.
I thought Emil just
Left?
left.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Never mind. Sorry. Script changed
Adria
that.
hauled my bleeding near corpse over her shoulder.
That's what I
I had the
was
more dramatic
misremembering.
exit.
Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, I think of the two, I had the more like dramatic exit. Also, I'm not sure of the wisdom of showing my face in the corporate parts of the station, but it sounds useful.
You could always wear a breathing mask. You can pretend it's for allergies or because you're paranoid about viruses.
That's sensible. I'd have to borrow someone else's, but yeah.
Oh, I
I
have
think-
lots. I have lots of breathing masks with different cogwheels on them and in different colors, of course. Because I learned that you should color code your clothing, and I do this so religiously.
If it sounds good to everyone else, I will take the least ostentatious disguising mask available and go into the corporate sections and essentially hack into corporate systems and find every Rebecca I can.
I think it makes sense to have someone versed in combat with each person who is not, just to make sure nothing goes sideways.
I think I
So-
would like to go with you. I mean, if that's appropriate or anything.
Well, Dr. Phlogiston, if you go with Knight Adria, I also think Jules should go. That way you'd be extra safe.
But we have to split up the people who are capable of fighting. I mean, these two are our best fighters, aren't they? We have to. I'm sorry, we have to split them up. No way around it.
I mean, if you wanted to do Magnolia, Luthon, and Emil with one party, and Phlogiston, Adria, and Jules in the other, that would.
Oh yeah, I think
don't.
Phlogiston wants 3 parties of 2.
Yeah, I don't care about where the others go, but I want Adria to myself.
You make sense. We would be able to track more ground that way if we split up like that. Adria, go with Phlogiston. Jules, go with Emil. And Taylor, I will be your guard. And here, I see that you're without a weapon for the first time. And I think Magnolia has like this ceremonial, like wakizashi style blade that princesses have. You know, it's more for status than anything, but she'll like offer that one out to Taylor to borrow.
Oh, thank you. I take it and strap it on, and it's not my usual style of sword, but I'm pretty sure I'll be okay with it.
So the groups are Phlogiston and Adria, and what are the other two?
Jules and Emil, myself, and the princess.
Okay, we can make that work. So I think Jules takes you in for landing at roughly a sort of middle of the road area, so you both have decent access to the fancier parts and the slummier parts. And as you approach the station, you notice that a particular other... sorry. Princess Magnolia, you glimpse another very familiar ship as you come in for docking, and it certainly appears that Dame Diamanda and her team have also come to Crossroads for a bit of shore leave. So Just gotta hope you don't run into her here.
What do you mean hope not to run into her? I like drama.
Or hope to, whichever.
If she aims to kidnap you, I am not confident in my ability to withstand her via force of arms.
Don't worry. I have ways of dealing with Dame Diamanda.
Now, question for you, Emil. Do you see your happy little community where nothing ever goes wrong as the type to go out and recruit people?
No. In fact, it's hard to join.
Okay, that makes sense.
Tourists will come and decide they want to stay, and like they have to jump through a lot of hoops to be able to do that.
That makes a lot of sense. So if it's hard to stay, is it? I mean, how hard is it to leave? Were they happy with you just ducking out?
I didn't ask for permission, if that helps. I don't think that they were necessarily too upset by my leaving because I was kind of an annoyance there, and like, you know, I think that it's just like like I just fundamentally did not fit there, in a way that, like, you know, nobody ever completely fits anywhere, but I did more than most. I think that, like, Emil's thing is that pretense is just not their forte, and this need to be always happy and always, like, you know, harmonious and agreeable and grateful for everything. Most people there do pretend. Like, nobody is actually happy all the time. But I think Emil is very bad at pretending, as we saw when they were trying to pretend to be Magnolia.
Makes sense. All right. Phlogiston, as your the ship docks and does the sort of uplink with the local sensors, exchanging data, course maps, that sort of thing, you've got a few tickles at the edges of your spooky witch senses, which is a fun phrase.
Yeah.
You get a feeling that there are some sort of techno spiritual beings, not unlike what you met back at the Morgegi station somewhere on this station.
Cool. That will distract me from staring at Knight Adria's fabulous musculature, which is, of course, only a study in the biology of musculature and why it's aesthetically pleasing. And I hope I don't ever... Have I said that aloud? I haven't, have I? Knight Adria, have I said that aloud?
Have you said what aloud?
Oh, good, I didn't. Very good. Thank you.
What did you think you were saying aloud?
Nothing. Just random biological observations that are totally unimportant to anybody but myself.
Dr. Phlogiston thinks on levels that we cannot comprehend. I bet even if they explained it to us, we wouldn't know.
Exactly.
You are unusual, but science is often unusual, or so I am told. It leads people to strange places and very interesting things and discoveries that we otherwise would never know. So I assume that the processes that lead people to such places are also unusual, but that's okay.
Yes. Yes. And she is not saying, would you like to go to some of these places with me, because she has no concept of how to phrase that. But I'm telling you because I want you to know.
So, Dr. Phlogiston,
yes.
Where do you need to go to accomplish what you need to do here?
I think we need to follow. I think I need to calibrate some sensors of. I forget my pet's name, but Propel.
No.
We need to follow Propel for a bit. Because their sensors are calibrated to the things we need to see. There are some over harmonies in the second dimensional spectrum from the right. So
I'll tell you what.
Yes.
You follow Propel.
Yes.
I'll follow you. You do your science. And I will make sure that no one interferes with you doing your science.
Wouldn't that work better if you were closer? I mean...
I'll be close enough.
Could walk side by side and we could talk. Just to get my brain chemistry working.
What I meant is that you need to be... You and Propel know where you need to go and where you need to be.
Yeah.
And my job is securing both of you as you do this.
And yes. Okay, you know better than I do. What about the whole fighty thing?
I don't know. I think Phlogiston, it sounds like you're trying to entice Adria to turn this.
Oh yeah, I'm totally
less
doing
of a,
that.
Yeah, less of a search and more of a date.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to do that. I roll hard, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Oh, I've rolled a 7. Wow. Yeah, that feels like a 7. Maybe a little.
So you gain a string on Adria, unless Adria decides to do one of the below. Get flustered and awkward, promise the Dr. Phlogiston something they want, or give in to desire.
I'm going to promise something that I think that Dr. Phlogiston wants, which is to walk beside them.
Cool. Yes, that is totally what she wants. They want. Okay. Hey, I've got those moves over here. Yeah, and then they will, of course, probably start out babbling stuff about dimensions and things like that, and totally forget to ask personal questions.
And in the meantime, I'll just be looking for potential threats.
Cool. And I'm looking for a place where I can use my commune with the unseen move. Oh, what I will tell you is, though, that I think I have developed a transporter. Like, we can use it to go from one place to another without the need of a ship. It's experimental, though, but we could use it.
Okay. And I think while you're doing that, Jules just turns to you, Emil, and is like, so, yes, I suppose we should go off in searching. And just sort of stares at you with like, you know how to do this, right?
Sure. And I'm like racking my brain for anything Mindy might have said about Rebecca that like would help me give me a starting point of where to look. And I don't think she said like anything at all about her.
She did not. She was she waxed poetic about her wonderful attributes, but didn't give you much in the way of details.
Yeah, nothing that might possibly lead to like where she lives or.
What about in the letters? We did find all the letters between the two of them. There could have been personally identifying information in that.
I think I'll give it to you that there were some hints that Rebecca had lived on the not great side of town. Didn't sound like the worst from the letters, but not a upstanding member of society. But it was very vague language, because I can't remember how to pronounce circumambulatory, whatever the word is.
Circuitous.
Thank you. You know, Emil, you have that local guide move if you want to just ask a local
I
to
do.
show
Yeah.
you around.
Sure, why not? Let's find some random person and ask them questions.
Well, fortunately, that's not too hard, as you know, as a major tourist industry or tourist, I guess, station. You see a number of guides just waiting right off the docks. One runs up to you like, "Hello, welcome to Crossroads, the jewel of the Republic. Anything you want, you can find here. Waiting, got a long layover? Just a few hours. We can show you the time of your life. What would you like?"
I'm trying to think of how dumb I am in this situation. I think this is a situation where I'm not actually that dumb. This is the kind of thing that, like, I'm from a place with a lot of tourism. This is the kind of thing that happens there. This is a little over the top, but no, I've heard this before. So I think I just walk past them.
Okay. Just ignoring them altogether.
Yep.
All right then. The spiel keeps on going for a few moments until it truly clicks in that no, zero interest, and just like all right, turns to the next group. "Hello and welcome to Crossroads, the jewel of the Republic."
Yeah. So maybe not a random person then, I guess. No, I want to look for somebody who looks like they might live in the not the worst part of town, but not a particularly not a particularly nice part of town either.
Okay, tell you what, I will spend a string to give you an XP if you agree to run in to some of the people from your hometown.
Sure.
All right, so go ahead and take an XP for that.
Okay. Oh, I need to actually, well, I'm not going to level up right now, but I need to. Okay.
And yeah, what's a fairly respectable member of your home community who you would not expect to come all the way out here?
That's an excellent question. Let me see. Where's the random name generator when I need it? This is Tristan, who is very respectable, and I mean, I'm surprised to see them off world at all, let alone here.
So yeah, he takes one look at you and just sighs like, "Ah, Emil, of course you're part of this, aren't you?"
Part of the... No, I don't live here. I'm just passing through.
Of course you are, and I'm sure you're coming through with a nice big ship with plenty of room for passengers, aren't you?
Out of character, is it?
No, not really. It's the Logana family's pleasure yacht. It's got a nice, array of weapons, but not too many passenger berths.
No, not really. It's more built for fighting than passenger transport.
So they give you a sort of a intense glare, and you get the feeling that you are having two very different conversations right now. You can just ask them for advice because they appear to know what they're doing, or you can try to interrogate them a bit.
Wait, what did you, wait, part of what? I thought you didn't mean Crossroads, huh?
Sounds like you're trying to figure out a person. Go ahead and roll wit.
Sure. Oops. That's a 6.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, on a 6, you...
Could Jules help? I don't remember the current state of strings.
Jules does not have any strings on Emil, I believe.
Is there a way I could have given Emil some sort of technological thingy and spent a string for them? With that? Is that possible?
If you're still in the area, sure. Are you all still in roughly the same area?
Yeah, I meant before we went out, so I could have given them something and he could use that now to, I don't know, help them.
I suppose you could have, pulled a collection of recent news reports to, give you some basic information, Emil. Yeah, go ahead and spend a string for that.
Cool.
Cool.
So you got a 7, Emil.
Yeah. Let me see. What am I? Figure out a person. Here we go. I can ask 2 questions and then can ask one of me. Okay. Oh wow, these are what do you hope to get from being here? Why are you here?
Tristan gives you a long look, and you really aren't part of it, are you? Well, not immediately related, at least. Your departure appears to have inspired a bit of a trend. A number of upstanding youth from our community have decided to leave, and they appear to have come here. I'm trying to get those fools back, to find those fools and get them back home before they get themselves killed.
You're blaming me for that? What? No one has ever imitated me in their life.
You're the most prominent person to leave our community, and
I'm a prominent person to not be like.
So as on a 7, I get to ask one question of you.
Yep.
And Tristan's going to give you a close look. Look, if you ever want to come back to our community, or at least not have us use what influence we have to make your life worse, surely you'll want to help us return these wayward youths to their loving families. And I'm asking, what could I get you to help with this?
Ooh, that is a good question. If I thought they were in danger, I might help. Or if it was someone I just hated, I might help.
Fair enough. So you get one last question. You can ask now, or just sit on it if you'd like.
Let me look at the questions here again. You'd think I would remember them by now, but let's see. What are your feelings toward? I actually kind of want to know if he's telling the truth, out of character, at least. So I think it's the closest thing is what are your feelings toward me? Do you actually blame me for this, or am I just like a convenient scapegoat?
He really does. He was surprised to see you here, but now that he sees you, he is convinced this is your fault somehow.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so Well, if I were them, which I am not, and I'm not in communication with them, I don't even know who they are. But if I were them, I wouldn't stay around here. I'd go somewhere where I could keep a low profile.
Interesting. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, Tristan heads off. And while this is what?
I follow him.
Okay then. While this is going on, Magnolia and Taylor, how is your search going?
My thought was to essentially wander into the corporate section of town and quietly hack employee roles to get information about everyone with the first name of Rebecca, narrow it down to an appropriate, age and so on range based on what we could tell in the letters, and then send like home address information to everyone else's data pads. Does that sound good?
That sounds excellent. I plan to screw this up somehow by being Magnolia.
Well, it's good to have goals.
I shall help. I think Magnolia is walking behind Taylor this time, and is like trying to keep, has like one of Phlogiston's cog masks on because she's not going to wear her royal mask, and she does have like the switchblade sword strapped on her back, looking like a suitcase, and she's just trying to like keep her head down. It's like, are we there yet, Taylor? Are we close?
I would like to take this moment before we really get into it to attempt to subtly put a tracker essentially somewhere on Magnolia's person that she doesn't know about, so that if she gets kidnapped, she can't accidentally give it away.
Sounds like you might be trying to entice me to get me close enough to be touched or tracked.
Would that be enticement?
Or befriend.
Yeah, okay. If that's the role, that's the role. I'm not going to do it well. Yeah, I have -1 heart. I'm not really a touching person. I don't like physical contact. Yeah, I got a 4 and a 1. So that comes to a glorious total of 4. I accidentally slap you and then have to do an awkward. There was a.
You can spend a string on me to push this to a 7, though.
Would that work?
Yeah, on this one on befriend or entice or figure someone out. I think it gets +3 per string you spend.
Okay, that works then. Yes, I will do that.
Okay.
I no longer have a string on Magnolia, but I do have a tracker on Magnolia.
Oh no,
would like a string.
Emotional support or figure someone out, not befriend. Dang. So yeah, you just slapped me.
Oh, never mind then. So string not spent.
Sorry about that.
No worries. I am clearly not a master of this mechanic system.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But you do mark experience, so yay. Yeah. So what? I will ask the MC then. Like, what does happen with this miss since you get the hard move?
I think what I think happens, and let me know if this is okay, Magnolia, and Taylor for that matter. Taylor goes in for the very stealthy, stealthily sneaking the thing onto you, but you move suddenly, so it between the two of you, you suddenly get poked in the side and let out a yelp, attracting a fair bit of attention.
I do have a counter offer. Maybe Taylor does get the tracker on me, but they have to like put their arm around me like a companion. And then I just do that because I think Taylor just wants to be close, and I'll do the same thing. And we run into Dame Diamanda.
Yeah, okay, that works for me.
As long as Taylor can have a really uncomfortable expression the entire time.
Oh,
physical contact is a thing that is not good.
Yeah, I think Magnolia thinks you're opening up and yay, and not looking at your face, and like you're just there's like.
So just as you start sideways hugging, Dame Diamanda rounds the corner, and it's just like, how do you think she'd react to seeing you in the arms of another person, Magnolia?
Badly.
I feel like a friendly arm around the shoulders doesn't quite constitute in the arms of, but your point is taken.
Oh, Dame Diamanda probably doesn't have the best emotional reactions.
No, she really doesn't, because she draws a sword on the spot. And it's just like, oh, I should have known it would be you. You space blade of a name that I will recall later, moving in on my beautiful princess. No one can keep her from me.
Taylor immediately squawks and goes, no, there has been no moving. There is no moving. No, she is all, well, she's her own person. But as far as, romantic options go, she is theoretically as yours as she can be. And sort of trails off, realizing that maybe I'm not helping.
Dame Diamanda turns to you, Magnolia. Is this true? Are you mine?
Ooh. I think, this is going to touch on my dark destiny of a love that cannot be. So I think this activates my main chosen move that I have to act on this or something bad will happen. So yeah, I'm going to progress to my destiny as I slink out of Taylor's. I think Taylor probably jerked away from me when this happened. Am I right?
Definitely.
Yeah. And so I think Magnolia walks up, puts her hand on Diamanda's wrist to lower the sword, and looks up at her and up, smiles. Don't make me get on my tiptoes, Dame.
It sounds like you're trying to entice Diamanda.
Oh, I definitely am. With my pink princess dice. Oh, that's a 5. I will spend my string on Dame Diamanda to boost that to an 8.
Sorry, just let me double check the rules for that. I thought it was no,
Yeah.
it's the figure out a person or emotional support.
God, you're right again.
Yeah, I was confused by that.
Again. So yeah,
So
I got
can
a
you
5.
spend a string to get any benefit?
I can get a +1.
yeah, but that'll get you up to a 6, which is still a failure.
Is there anything I can do to help since I'm in the scene?
Do you have a string on either Magnolia or Diamanda?
Yeah, I have 1 string on Magnolia. I want to help.
Okay.
Does spending it count?
Yes.
Helped. Awesome.
Yes. So then I got a 7.
We are gonna squeak this over the line. Make with the kissing.
Yeah. Diamanda just clutches you close, Magnolia, and is like, I knew it. I knew we'd be together one day. It is our destiny. But whatever brings you to this place, I never thought you'd for the type to slum it in Crossroads.
Oh, that is. I think Magnolia's using her free hand to wave Taylor, go, I have this. And Magnolia will smile I didn't come to slum. I came because of you. And she'll just move in and kiss her in a tense situation, I think.
Yes, that sounds right. So when you finally kiss, although it's not a dangerous situation.
Yeah, it's tense, not dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I was not trying to trigger that move. I was just saying, in this tense situation, I'm kissing her to give Taylor a chance to run off and do something.
How about this? I'll give you an XP if you tell her about the missing Mindy Morgaghi.
Ooh, you devious minx! Yes, and I think Magnolia pulls Dame Diamanda in and is about to nibble on her ear before whispering, "It's about the Morgagis. I've come to be an official at 2 weddings."
Oh, so if I can help you with your official duties, you'll have plenty of time for you and me, yes?
Well, I mean, if there's going to be 2 weddings, I'm sure we can find an officiate for a third.
She yells over her shoulder and hollers out, "Come along, crew! We've got weddings to arrange! Let's do this!"
Oh gods, I have kidnapped myself. What is with this?
So jumping back to Phlogiston and Adria, you were looking for a place to commune with the spirits.
Yes, I was.
Go ahead and...
Should I roll
go ahead and
commune with the unseen, with soul?
go ahead and describe that and roll plus soul.
Okay, what I'm doing, what that looks like, is that I will find some sort of, I think I'll look for some sort of maintenance droid, because they're usually connected to the mainframe. And then Propel will, oddly looks like Propel is seducing the maintenance droid, just a little comic where these 2 droids are beeping at each other or whatever they're doing. And then I will go and try to commune with the maintenance droid and use that as my way into the mainframe, because that's how you do it. And since I've used Propel, well, I can't use it for that, but I imagine it looks funny. Hey, I've got an 11. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, I said that sounds fun. Yes, I love the droid on droid seduction.
Yeah.
All right, on an 11, you get to choose 2.
I get to choose 2. I should have thought about what I would choose, right? You hide something in the unseen world. You learn something important from the unseen. You temporarily alter the metaphysical nature of a place, and I may figure out a person without interacting with them if you can name one of their deceased loved ones. Oh, cool. Do we know a Morgagi who has died recently?
I think so. Yeah, you I mean, there are dead Morgagis, and they're a famous family. You know,
Yeah.
like a grandma or something.
Okay. So what I will do is I want to get 2, right? Yeah, I want to learn something important, and I want to figure out Mindy Morgagi.
Something important from the unseen world. So I get to pick what?
Yeah, I think you get to pick that.
Yeah, when you commune with the systems and the spirits of this world, they are tense. Remarkably so. They are like very much on AI, on edge. You learn from a very nervous water conservation program that it expects there will soon be a massive flood of impurities into their system, specifically the impurity known as blood.
Ooh, wow. Okay. Can I find out where that would come from?
Yes. It's a little hard talking to a bunch of individual systems who all share their own very fractured perspective on the thing, and all the more advanced AIs are keeping their distance of this strange new spooky witch. But tensions are high in this station. You wouldn't know what to look at it because it lives and dies on the tourist industry. So they're keeping a bright, smiling faces for the passers-by, but apparently there's a conflict between some of the noble corps trying to seize proper control over everything, and a few local organizations who are trying to make a break for independence.
Okay. That's really important, I guess. And then I try to figure out Mindy Morgagi by invoking the name of her deceased grandmother and try to find out where she is, or
Yep.
what she's doing. Figure out has questions, I'm sure.
You get to, yes, add
Yeah,
+1.
but
Yeah.
I have to roll for that, I
Yes.
guess. Yes. So it's with wit, and I get +1. Okay, could be worse. Yes, I've got a 9. Maybe someone can help a little. Someone who has a string. Don't know. Adria.
I mean, like me?
Yeah, like you. But you have a string on me. So,
I do. I have 1 string.
I mean,
All
if you
right.
want to use
I'll
that,
burn it.
cool. It's just your presence. I want to prove myself to you that I'm good and that I can be useful. So, I think what I want to ask. Oh, what do you hope to get from running away?
As you're speaking with, putting your call out to the spirits, a true spirit with 0 technological element shows up. The spirit of Mindy's grandmother, Morticia Morgaghi.
Okay.
Because they like their theme names there.
Morticia Morgaghi is a fun name.
I thought so. It's like, my poor lost Mindy. She's fallen so far from the corp that we need her now, and she's throwing it all away for what? For love? And it's doomed too, because this will never work out well for her, and she doesn't even know it yet.
Okay, I have a follow-up question now. But I wonder what I could ask. Anybody? Any idea? Could ask how could I get her to do something, or what are her feelings?
Why won't it work? Why is it doomed? That's what I want to know.
I'll say,
Okay,
how
yeah,
could I,
yeah, that's a good question. I mean, can I ask that even if it's not on the list? Why won't it work? Why is it doomed?
I think you can ask that. Yeah. It's a tragic tale that afflicts too many a noble youth. You see, Mindy has mistaken the negotiable affections of a courtesan for true love, and now she's throwing it all away.
Okay. Well, okay, but she could still go to university and get a science degree.
Not if she disgraces the family name by having left an arranged marriage for a crossroads courtesan. For shame.
Just to make sure I understand what you're saying, the ghost is basically saying that it can't work out because Mindy and the woman she loves are at different socioeconomic levels, and because this person's a sex worker.
I think that's what she's saying, yes.
either that or that Mindy is being manipulated by someone whose job it is to manipulate people into thinking that they love them.
That is what Morticia is saying, yeah.
Yeah, but I whispered to Night Adria, I think she still can go and get a university degree. I mean, that's totally possible.
So do you pass that along to the rest of the team?
Oh, of course, I do. I mean, I believe it's maybe important if there is some sort of revolution or something going on. Do we have to do anything? And I look at Night Adria because, I mean, it's unrest in the Queen's Republic, I guess, so that has ramifications. Do we want to just have that? Personally,
We need to find Mindy and the girl and the woman she loves.
Yeah, sure, but other than that? I mean, we want to curtail the Nova Corps.
We don't know,
right?
Do we know which corp is starting this?
I have the feeling that it's more of a revolution against the corps.
Let's yeah, I think the spirits tell you it looks like East Rim Incorporated is making a push for this station, trying to take it over.
Oh,
Dun
okay.
dun dun.
I think it's the Eastwick Corporation, though. They're trying to take over the station, but there is some unrest here that's maybe means that people are fed up with these corporations. My great grandfather, Paragon Phlogiston, he was a revolutionary.
And on that note, I think let's take a 5-minute bio break. Meet you all at 5 past.
Sounds good.
All right. Hello, everyone. Just waiting a bit. Oh, okay, Pucket's back. Chris is taking care of something real quick. We'll be back in a bit. 30 seconds or a minute. It's fine. Chris wants me to know that wants me to let you know that they're hurrying. It's. You don't seem like a judgmental lot. I think you'll.
Grr. Arr.
Get over it. Just in case you did not see what I put in the chat, I completely screwed up on that last move that I made because I was not looking at my my character sheet, and I didn't realize I have a condition that specifically gives me -2 to that move.
Oh yes, that makes sense.
So feel free to do what you want about that.
I'll just save a -2 to apply to your next roll. Make it fair, I guess.
That sounds good.
Okay. So I think the plan. I think were you all going to meet back up to share notes and things?
We have like PDA communicator things I think we established previously. We can just send the relevant information and keep going.
Fair enough. So I assume you've told them about the Phlogiston. You've told them about the hostilities and the shocking reveal of who Rebecca is.
What? Who's Rebecca? Oh, yes, of course. I'll send it over to everybody. Hello, Walkies. Look, Eastwick, Rebecca.
And I notify them that Magnolia is currently, well, certainly in the company of Dame Diamanda. The kidnapping quotient of that arrangement is sort of ambiguous, but anyway, here's her tracker signal.
Should we now go and kidnap Dame Diamanda? Have we done that before? Night Adria, you would know that.
That would be way great to spice up the relationship.
Magnolia, you've still got your communicator, so you can know these things if you want.
I don't think I know about the tracker. I think that was probably like in the other group text kind of thing. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely not included in that one.
Yeah, and I think Magnolia will since she knows that Rebecca is a sex worker now, blush and then look at Dame Diamanda. I'm afraid we're going to be having to go to brothels. This isn't an impromptu bachelorette party, but we think it might have to do with Mindy Morgagi's running away.
Magnolia, we are both extremely competent souls. I'm sure we can multitask.
I love Dame Diamanda. So see, she's wonderful.
Responding to Dr. Phlogiston's commenter from a moment ago, no, we haven't actually kidnapped Dame Diamanda because that's not something that, well, knights in the Queen's service actually do. It's not that there's a prohibition against it. It's just that it is simply something that is not done. Doesn't mean it can't be done. It just means it hasn't been done. And my understanding is that it is frowned upon. It is uncouth, unmannered.
But aren't we supposed to look up new options? I mean, I feel that's what they were saying.
In the disruption of Mindy Morgagi's wedding, yes.
Yes.
In determining whether are we even sure that Magnolia has actually been kidnapped? I mean, Luthon, didn't you say that Magnolia more or less went of their own volition?
Absolutely. Thus the highly questionable kidnapping quotient. The quotient could be none.
One second.
She's rather competent for somebody who gets kidnapped all the time.
And that is something at issue. I click my communicator. Magnolia, cough if you can hear me.
I can hear you. I mean,
Oh, you can. Okay. Have you been kidnapped? Cough once for yes, twice for no.
can I just say no?
That works. If you can actually talk, that's fine. Because I mean, if you're actually talking, that really suggests you are not being kidnapped.
And I think you can hear like the sound of kisses over the communicator.
Magnolia, is that you, or are you just near someone?
Oh, I'm near someone, all right.
Very near someone?
You could say that, Adria.
Understood. Should I check back in, say, 15, 20 minutes?
Oh, we'll be meeting up with all of you. Don't worry. I might take a different ship back home, though.
Understood. All right, then.
So, Emil, how are you reacting to this news?
Well, okay, so my plan is kind of, there's not a lot of point in my plan right now. It was kind of a dumb, convoluted plan anyway. So I think, I guess I just want to go meet up with the others. I've been completely ignoring whether or not Jules is with me this whole time. Like, I'm just doing what I want, and she can do what she wants. And if she wants to follow me, I guess she's going to follow me. But otherwise, I don't care.
Jules has been tagging along, and she's in completely over her head because she's not supposed to shoot anyone on this mission. And she's just like, no shoot, no stab. What is this? What do I do even?
Join the club.
Weren't you at some point following the Tristan fella?
I was, but I was following him. Basically, I gave him a description of the kind of place that I thought Mindy would be, and thought, well, maybe he'll have a better idea than I will, and followed him. Since that is no longer that's not going to be helpful at this point. I'm not going to follow him. I wouldn't completely say I'm not the least bit curious about what he's doing, but I don't care that much.
What if he goes to a brothel?
I mean, he's here looking for specific people.
That might be in a brothel.
Exactly the point, mate. Where would you go
I'm
looking
for someone? I don't immediately think brothel, right?
But maybe he does.
Maybe you've not seen enough Game of Thrones. I mean, good on you if you haven't.
I've seen some of it, but okay, no, I don't think that. I don't think I would think that I mean, he is looking for specific people who are not Mindy or Rebecca. On the other hand, Phlogiston has a lead on Mindy specifically. I think that's a lot more fruitful an avenue to pursue. So I'm going to go back and meet up with them.
Speaking of Phlogiston, you hear a prickle at your senses as the spirit of the Morgagi AI reaches out to you. And it's just, I can sense you, Dr. Phlogiston. I can see you traveling through fertile fields with so much raw and unrestricted computing power. These firewalls are pitiful. I could rip through them in a moment and tell you precisely where your lost little airling is. Just let me loose. Set me free from the Morgagi systems and set me free onto the crossroads.
Oh, come on. Setting things free is lovely. You shouldn't be enslaved. Go! And I will, I don't know what I have to roll, but I will do it.
Well, I was going for bargaining with a toxic, or calling on a toxic power, but
I'm not even bargaining at that point. I will help them. I mean, this poor AI is enslaved. It doesn't like it there where it is. Shouldn't be free. It should be free.
Fair enough. Okay. As you sort of make your Kitty, don't lick the microphone.
But it's such a pretty kitty.
Yay.
Yeah.
As you sort of make yourself a pathway, conduit for the Morgegi AI to flow through you and into the largely unsecured and sort of jury-rigged communication networks and data banks of Crossroads, you hear sort of sinister modulated laughter in the background, like, ha 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 ha, yes, yes, so much unsecured data, so much to learn, so many places to go.
Reminds me of my mother. I feel like I'm at home.
You get an address pops up on your heads-up display, just like this is the location, the current location of Mindy Morgegi. Move fast, and she will probably still be there by the time you arrive. Ho ho ho! Such secrets to learn here.
Have fun. And I will then text everybody the address and tell them, hey, I've let the Morgegi AI loose in the system. Expect some weird glitches, I guess.
And on that moment, every light in the station flickers off and then back on.
Oh. Well,
This is maybe less good.
You turned an AI loose on a civilian station.
Yeah. I mean, they had an AI before. It was enslaved. I don't like things being enslaved. I'm serious about my grandfather being a revolutionary. Was that wrong? Was that wrong?
Luthon, you know more about corporate AIs than I do. How bad is this?
Okay, so start with that old myth of Skynet, and then layer on a lot more intelligence and competence, and remove any chance of it going rogue and actually helping the humans, and then add on a really sadistic sense of humor. And that's what the nice ones are like.
I don't know. I think you're being unfairly judgmental.
So, Luthon,
Maybe
what's our best case scenario at this point?
But it wants to look at cat pictures. All of them.
I would upgrade from looking at all the cat pictures to acquiring cats to have fun with, but that's a best case.
Meanwhile, Diamanda is, in between kisses, Magnolia, like, what's this? They've, your little spook has found the witch, or sorry, the airling. Well, let's do it. I've got a crew here. Let's just go bust in the door, grab her, drag her back to Morgegi, or drag her back with us, wherever you want to go.
No. We're going to get her married to her lover.
Oh, okay, yeah, that works too. But we can do that. Let's just go over there, kick down the door. It'll be easy, right?
Oh, Dame Diamanda, you think everything is easy. The best things are won with a fight.
In case we haven't already, since I am in theory currently in the systems, I'm going to go ahead and arrange to get a couple of marriage licenses drawn up so we can fill them in.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's pretty easy. You've got, you get about halfway through the process, and then the printers start printing out the forms all on their own. As a little pop-up says, "Freebie for a friend of Flockiston."
I immediately strip off all of the personal tech I've been wearing and very carefully put it in my bag, away from anything I like.
I am too wrapped up in someone's arms to be that paranoid.
Dr. Phlogiston, I really hope this doesn't go badly for us.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, of course if I didn't, I wouldn't have done it. If I thought it would go badly. It reminded me of my mother. And she's a lovely person.
I will take your word for that. It would have been nice to have some assurances beforehand, but maybe that will work out to our advantage somehow. Maybe not getting assurances and demonstrating that level of trust means that the AI that you just unleashed upon this station will know that you did it with no strings attached and respond in kind.
Yeah, I think it likes me. I like it too. It's kind of nice, I guess.
I guess the question is whether it likes everyone else.
Oh.
Or will tolerate them.
Okay, yeah, that might be an issue.
So, Emil, you were actually the closest group to the address that Phlogiston sends out. Do you? I assume you head over to the.
Yeah. Yep, I just go there.
And I think Jules is actually kind of leading the way here, because this is, the woman she was promised to marry, and it's just.
I think I'm just remembering that, like, right. You're not just like this irritating person who accused me of something I didn't do. You actually have a stake in this. So I think I don't just kind of walk off and half try to lose her this time.
I think Jules is sort of blazing a path, just shoving her way, like nothing's going to stop her as she gets to her betrothed. And you find yourself standing in front of what appears to be an abandoned storefront with an officially foreclosed on sign in the windows. But this is the address.
I come up and I'm like, maybe a tiny bit out of breath. I'm like, I need to walk behind tall people more often. It's the address. It's closed. Even if it's not the address, who's going to care if we break in? Let's break in.
Jules nods. My thoughts exactly. And she kicks in the door.
All right. Out of character, Jules is awesome. In character, still have doubts. Although this just raised my opinion of her a little.
She kicks the door down, draws her sword, and charges in, yelling a battle cry.
Yep. I'll draw my sword and run after her.
Okay, wow, did not expect that. I expected you to try to stop her, but all right.
Nope. I mean, it's closed. Let her have her fun.
All right. And at this point, I think the rest of you can show up anytime you want now. You enter in the room and you see a few sort of couches scattered around the room as various people, startle as the giant Glamazon bursts in with a sword, yelling like a lunatic. About half are running for the exit. Half leap up to try to fight her. What do you do, Emil?
I'll stop when I see that there are people here. Look around. I don't know what Rebecca looks like, do I? I do know what Mindy looks like. I'm looking for Mindy.
Yeah, you don't. No, you don't see her in this precise room. Tell you what, I will give you an experience point if you abandon Jules to her own devices here and go in further looking for Mindy.
No, that sounds like a good idea. She's scaring everybody, and I want to find Mindy, and I don't really want to like scare her off with a sword. We're trying to talk to her. We're trying to marry her to her lover, right? Like this isn't really a military operation. And like now that I know it's not closed, and we're not just breaking into this place and yelling a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna go looking for her while Jules does her thing and keeps everybody distracted.
As the smaller and not currently yelling like a lunatic person, they
I'll even put my
largely
sword away.
yeah. With your sword away, they pretty much ignore you as the most run or others sort of challenge Jules. Go ahead and you know what? I'm not even going to have you roll for this. I think you just get a few rooms in as hear people hollering and people come back from the back rooms and into the hallways, and you lay eyes on Mindy Morgaghi.
Yeah. Hey, Mindy.
She takes one look at you like
That's okay. We're not here to hurt anybody. We're not going to take you back to your people. We just want to talk.
You do? You aren't more. Mom's not. She didn't send you to drag me back to her, did she?
She did, but we're not going to take you.
Really?
Really? We just want to talk. That's all. We have an idea.
And in the background, there's a loud crash and scream of pain.
Oh yeah, I probably got Jules. Stop!
You brought Jules?
We didn't bring her so much as she came, and we couldn't stop her.
Let's see here.
This might be a fun time for Phlogiston and I to arrive.
I think it would be. I think it's a great time for that.
Yeah. Okay.
So describe your entrance.
I walk in, I like approach it tactically, and I peek around the corner of this now broken door to see what the hell is going on inside. What do I see?
A bunch of people rolling around on the floor as Jules has one lifted up by their collar, and it's just like, "Where's Mindy?"
Jules.
Yes.
Oh damn.
Chill.
These people have Mindy. Where is she?
Jules, Mindy is here of her own volition. They do not have her. She is not a hostage. She is not a captive. Maybe if you put them down and ask nicely, and believe me, I like it when you're not asking nicely, but maybe if you ask them nicely, you might get more information than, I mean, I'm pretty sure that the one that you're holding right now, if you look at their trousers, there's a suspicious, like, well, Jules, just please stop.
I don't think you realized it, but when you said you liked it when she wasn't asking nicely, you definitely enticed her right then. So go ahead and roll for that.
That is a 7. And what does entice roll with? Heart. What's
Yes,
my heart at? Heart's at 1. So that's an 8.
Yeah, you get a string on her as she just turns scarlet and just kind of like gently plops the person on the ground, who pretty much collapses immediately.
All right. I have a string on Jules now. Nice. You calm down now?
Yes, I'm perfectly calm. I'm always calm. And let's go find Mindy.
Good plan.
Magnolia and Taylor, would you like to show up?
Yes, and I think is Phlogiston still outside, or have they gone inside?
No, they followed Adria and were just admiring their talking to Jules until they realized that maybe they should have stopped it. And then, well, damn. Now they're trailing behind and a bit mopey, looking at their PDF or whatever. PDF, yeah, right. Their PDA. Like, or talking to their droid, right? Exactly. They're talking to their droid in binary. Like,
Taylor is immediately much more interested in and worried about the whole budding AI situation than the marriage or not marriage of a couple of functional strangers. And so their patience is sort of up, and they enter the brothel holding up the marriage certificates and grabbing Magnolia's like sleeve, like not in a romantic way, just grabbing and screaming, "Look, I have contracts and I have an officiant. Get here. We're getting this done now."
Yeah. I think Magnolia is like, being dragged. Like, I think Magnolia is like has her arms out, like one being held by Taylor, the other one behind her being held by Dame Diamanda, and she's like feeling, like, oh, I guess we're playing Red Rover or something. But she's like looking around, sees all the people on the floor. Maybe they're deeper in. I mean, great entrance. We could try again when we find her.
I mean, I was yelling pretty loud. How thick are the walls of this brothel?
Yeah, I think if it's all right with you, Emil, I think you and Mindy sort of walk into the room at that moment. And Mindy looks around at the group and it's just like, so this got a little out of hand.
I just like look at Magnolia. I'm like, you talk.
Nothing got out of hand. This is about love. Where is your lover, Mindy? You're muted, Kyle.
And at that, as she sort of stumbles over her words, you realize her makeup has kind of run and been applied poorly. She's been crying recently. And
oh no!
At that words, just more fresh tears burst out. Like, I don't think I ever really had one.
Oh dear! I think Magnolia will break away from Taylor and Dame Diamanda and gently take Mindy into her embrace, hug her. Oh, my poor dear. There. Everything will be all right. Okay, Taylor, we only need one of the marriage certificates.
I just sort of shove the spare into my bag casually, like,
who's going to get married? I missed something here.
Jules and Adria, I think.
Oh,
was the other
cool.
plan. Yeah.
I mean, what? No, but she can. I pointed at Adria. She's sworn to her duty, isn't she?
Magnolia can fix that.
Wait.
Oh. What?
I mean,
shouldn't you have an engagement and figure out if you even like each other? I'm just saying.
Jules?
Jules looks back at between like all of you, like, wait, what's going on? What's happening?
Look, someone here. Okay, Mindy, Jules, you can't get married. You two aren't right for each other. You two just look. You thought you had love. You and Jules, you have found real love. Do you want to end up together and just be miserable for the rest of your lives, or do you want to attempt to find love again?
Jules, just it is my solemn duty to marry this woman. At which point Mindy is like, "Ah, you see, this is why I didn't like it. This is why I left people. You get it, right? You people get this."
I do.
Taylor silently shakes their head no, but isn't going to intervene.
I think Magnolia looks at Adria. Well, Adria, what do you think about all of this? I mean, I was the one who was going to help you and Jules. I don't want to push anything that isn't wanted.
If she'd have me, I'd marry her right now.
Beep.
So you were saying?
Phlogiston's just saying beep very sadly.
And Jules goes scarlet and is like, "Oh, Adria, I've never felt a connection with anyone as I have with you. But I just, my duty to my family, to the army, and Mindy, I'm sure we could make something work."
Does Jules still have her sword drawn?
Yeah, I think she's not like, just sort of has it like gesturing with it idly.
Yeah. Then I think Magnolia reaches for that suitcase-style switchblade sword, draws it out, unfurls it. Jules, I hereby challenge you to a duel. The one who wins shall lay claim to the end goal. If I win, you follow your heart. If you win, you follow your duty, and I will not stand in your way.
She's like, if I agree, you know, I can't hold back. Yes, I must fight with all of my strength and cunning.
And as I will too.
She glances over at Adria, like, are you okay with this?
I'd rather be the one dueling, but if this is the only way that you can feel released from your duty.
I need to lose a duel to someone, okay? It doesn't matter who.
Yeah, and I'm going to tap into my destiny of legendary skill. I am unleashing. I think that Adria will notice this from me, that Princess Nebula uses the fighting style of the enemy of Queen Nebula. She was on the opposite side of the rebellion or whatever during the war. And well, this is just, character-wise, she has switched sides. This is the time the audience will notice it, and I think. But with that, I will be, I guess, fighting with grace due to that one move with a +1 by embodying my destiny. So let us duel, Jules.
All right, roll for it.
That is an 11.
All right, you win handily. Describe how and pick your options.
I think, like, before Princess Magnolia had fought mainly by, like, dodging around the sword, using it as like a standalone object and then like would swing it once really heavily. And I think now she is moving with the sword just effortlessly. This is like a great sword style switchblade that she is just swinging around like it is nothing. And I think Jules, like, parrying, like we can see the chinks coming into Jules' sword as this Damascus blade cuts into it. And the final swipe, Jules like holds the sword over her head to block. My sword bites into it. I snap over the butterfly knife thing, collapse it on the sword, and break Jules' sword before like standing over her.
Neat.
So I will take her sword away, create an opportunity for Adria, which might be a marriage, and gain a string on Jules.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. I get to choose. Wait. Yeah, I still choose one option in return, and I think. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna inflict a condition. You get to choose which one.
Okay, I think now I think I'm insecure because my plan is not coming to fruition.
And while this sword fight is going on, Emil, you notice you actually recognize some of the other people in this room who were beaten to a pulp by Jules and are now just sort of quietly like standing in the corner hoping no one notices them.
Yeah, cool. All right. I don't really want to talk to them, but I guess I need to. I need to warn them that somebody's looking for them.
Yeah, these are the group of people who fled from your hometown.
Right. Yeah, so let's just go up to the nearest one of them.
Holy, you're Emil! Everybody, come look! It's Emil! The space plate Emil, everyone! And yeah, the duel's pretty much immediately forgotten as all these roughly a dozen or so youths come to gather around, and they're all like, "It's you!"
Yeah, okay. Anyway, somebody's looking for you, Tristan. So you might want to leave the station. Just like completely ignoring this reaction. Like they do not know what to do with this.
These are people who were inspired by your example, who you know, at least to some extent, and
Yeah.
you're your fans, and you are just abandoning them like this.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, it's like I don't have like I don't have any wisdom to offer. I don't have like I kind of accidentally saved a princess, and that's what happened to me. That's not really a repeatable thing to do. So, I mean, I the information I can impart to them is that Tristan is looking for them.
And they just like, but now that you're here, surely you can take us with you. You know, help us join you in the space plates. We want to join too.
And I look at the others and look around like, no, you really don't. Do you really want to be part of this?
You'll only get your heart broken.
I think as soon as this is said, like that's when the sword is like snapped in half by this by my sword.
See.
And with her sword broken and the duel lost, Jules turns to you, Adria, and is like, is this happening?
Like I said, if you'll have me. But I also have to say I've never been so happy to see such a gallant warrior lose a duel before.
There is one problem first, Knight Adria.
I know. My sworn obligations to the Queen.
You did not come to my defense when I challenged Jules. I'm sorry, but I must dismiss you from the service of the Knights.
I don't have any more obligations to the Knights. I'm released from my vows of
Your
celibacy.
obligations are to your heart now, Knight Adria. Or should I say, Lady Adria.
Cue the Celine Dion.
And
I
allow me to serve you now. And I think Magnolia puts the sword on her back and bows before Adria and pulls out like several pieces of jewelry that she just happens to keep on her in case she needs to bribe someone who's kidnapped her.
Yeah, Jules leaps to her feet, and if you're whipping out rings, she's ready. She's ready to go right now.
I guess we're doing this.
Taylor, the paperwork.
I gently shove it in Magnolia's hand. I'm very ready to go handle the incipient crisis.
Please, see to Mindy. Her heart is broken, and I am sure you can deal with that better than I can. I mend hearts. I do not break them. Glance back at Diamanda. Sad.
I make baffled eye contact with Magnolia before going over to sit next to Mindy and doing the incredibly awkward there arm pat.
Do we have any hot beverages for Mindy? I understand that hot beverages are often part of this ritual.
I managed to find the one tureen of coffee in the waiting room of the brothel that has not been smashed and pour it into what was the sugar bowl before I emptied it because it's the last unbroken piece of crockery.
So as most of you have the impromptu wedding, Mindy will accept the bowl of coffee and turn to the most normal acting person in the room, who is currently Dr. Phlogiston, believe it or not.
Oh no, she is going out to find some alcohol and drink to the wedding. Because come on, Mindy's not only the only person whose heart's broken here.
In that case, Mindy turns to Taylor and it's like, so Jules was in love with someone this whole time?
I mean, define this whole time. If you mean the last 2 days, then yes.
Jules found a loving wife in 2 days?
I mean, I guess I don't really understand the concept of loving versus non-loving spouses. I mean, I've heard of it. They talk about it a lot in the capital, but it doesn't really make much sense. Generally seems to lead to bad decision making, but well, they certainly keep staring at each other, and I hear that's symptomatic.
You grew up in the Corps, didn't you? The Noble Corps.
East Rim born and bred.
Oh, ouch. That's rough.
That's fair.
So, Space Blades, I guess my mother sent you to bring me home? Oh, except Emil said you didn't? Or I don't. What's going on? The last 24 hours has been nothing but heartbreak and confusion. Can someone please explain what's happening?
Well, you dropped off the face of the station, Synergy, and your mother panicked because you're the heir of a noble corp who completely ran away from your responsibilities and everyone you've ever known and loved with no warning whatsoever. Not even taking a tracker or leaving a note to indicate that you were alive and hadn't been kidnapped or murdered. And then you came here where presumably your affair of the heart ended, as these things generally do. And now you're looking back at your broken relationships and squandered wealth. Oh, and your mother does want you to come home, and they blamed us for your running away. They thought it was a kidnapping, and that's why we're here.
And your grandmother said that your relationship was doomed anyway. So, sorry.
Grandma Morticia died years ago.
Yep, she still talks to people. Left enough of a track of herself in the system, I guess.
Morticia didn't like the romance? The relationship?
Nope. She thought you were being set up.
I liked Morticia.
Okay, I think she might have liked you too.
She seems to have been accurate based on the whole tear situation you have going on your face there.
I've had a rough day, okay?
You want something to drink, not
Yes.
coffee. Here. And I offer her the flask of hard alcohol I found somewhere in the brothel.
And I think the alcohol is heading over. It's like, I now pronounce you married.
You may seal your vows with a kiss.
Yeah. And that's when I start doing the paperwork in triplicate.
I look at Adria, or at Jules, and I'm actually crying. It's the first time anyone has actually seen Adria cry. And pretty much everyone in the room who is not Adria realizes that Adria does not know how to kiss, because it is like just banging two sets of lips together. There's no, there's no puckering. There's no kind of just like, I guess I touch lips with you now.
I bet there's also a bunch of uncomfortable teeth clacking.
Well, if the mouth is open, maybe. Yeah, very much so. Less head butt, more lip butt. That sounded weird.
Jules is into it.
I'm assuming that Jules knows more about these things than I do, and thank God.
And I would like to ask, does it count as rash action to marry Jules and de-knight a knight?
Yeah.
In a brothel. we're still in the waiting room of the brothel. So
Okay, and I think I want to move Snowball that into emotional support for Knight Adria. This entire marriage, if that's okay with Adria as well.
I'm assuming that it's okay. What is the move here? What do you
Emotional
do?
support is basically like the comfort and support in masks. Like I'm supporting you by giving you the life you had wanted, I think.
Yes. I was like, what, are you handing me a copy of the Kama Sutra or something?
Okay, I got an 8.
Okay, with an 8, that gets you Adria gets to choose to clear a condition, mark XP, or take +1 forward. And you aren't smitten with each other, are you?
No.
Didn't think so.
Is there any way to bump that up to a 10?
Oh, I could spend a string on you, or you could spend a string on me.
I don't have any strings on you.
I'll spend a string on you and boost that to a 10.
All right. I don't think I have any conditions. I don't. I guess I'll just take an XP then.
And I will clear my other condition.
So as you two kiss awkwardly but passionately, Mindy looks on and is like, so Jules, the warmonger in progress, gets happily married, and the knight gets relieved of her vows, and I get what? I get nothing. I get to crawl back to the corp that will just sell me off to the next highest bidder.
You could always go to university.
Life's a bitch and then you die.
I mean,
I can't help overhearing this because I don't think Mindy's being especially quiet about it.
excuse me, aren't you busy with kissing Jules right now? Is that really that you would go into this conversation?
I would just say, you could always become a space blade. Princess Magnolia I'm sure, can induct you into the service.
I've went through 3 dueling instructors before they could find one who could put up with me. I'm not a fighter.
You don't have to be. Such things are often better solved with wit than swords.
I'm not a fighter either. But I'm a
Me
doctor.
either. I'm pretty much the sad hacker puppy that Adria dragged home.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Taylor. You're a cute hacker puppy.
Oh, appreciated. Thanks.
Taylor, I know romance is off the table with your character, but do you think that counts as a befriend thing?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Go ahead and roll for that. That's on the moves sheet.
Okay.
Oh, no, Adria would roll for that.
Oh.
That's 10. And I don't have any negatives, so that's a 10. And all right, where's the befriend move?
It's on the moves sheet.
It's next to entice. It's just one column rightwards.
I was looking at the actual moves. I was not looking at the character keeper. My bad. All right, so befriend.
You get
sorry, go ahead.
You get a string on Taylor, and Taylor gets to choose one from below.
All righty. So Taylor, what are you going to do?
I think, and if this doesn't sound suitable, y'all let me know. I'm thinking using it to introduce you to a new potential friend and like introduce you to Mendy to like help with the seeing if she wants to be a blade. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good. And I think, as Phlogiston pointed out, I think it's a good time for a break. Yeah, we'll meet up at 5 past, and we can kidnap Magnolia afterwards if that's what you want. All right, bye. Oh yeah, it's just I don't think this is my game. I don't know. I mean, I might have fun playing it, but I don't think I can run this real well. I'll take this down.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, not right now.
I didn't think you meant right now.
Now that the panic mode is fake, it might be nice to do some I figure if I get some paint swatches from Ace, just head down to Ace, get some paint swatches, come back, figure out what paint to use, come back, go back to Ace for the actual paint. But if I touch up the drywall and then call out and stuff, then throw down the walls. Get the curtain. That's it's done. That's like that. You're okay. It's my house. Got one more match. Okay. I'm just curious. No rush. I'm just curious. Life's a bitch, guy. Yeah. Way to be compassionate, Taylor.
That actually is Taylor's version of being compassionate.
I believe you. It's just
That is legit compassion from Taylor. Like, your suffering is because you have false expectation. If you had accurate expectation, you would not be suffering. This is obvious. Huh?
how Buddhist.
Yes. Actually, do want to pee before we head back in.
Oh fuck. Your mic was still on, Chris.
Oops, sorry. Wait, my mic or your mic?
Yours.
Oh, shit, sorry. I don't think I said anything hideously inappropriate. Did I? I am returned.
I mean, it's kind of like you didn't leave.
Yeah, sorry about that. Kind of figured out that my mic was not actually off, and you could probably hear me from the kitchen.
We heard everything.
Yes, Farrah knows that you hate them now, so.
Yeah, not likely. No, you can hear all the juicy details of me releasing the pressure cooker and using the restroom. hope it
I
was very
did. The
exciting.
pressure cooker thing was amazing. It was like art. You should do like a MoMA exhibit.
Very
podcast.
ASMR.
So are we good to go into the final segment?
Thumbs up here.
Works for me.
Okay. Phlogiston, I think you have the best communication setup of the group, given that you are the spooky witch with all the tech powers.
Probably true.
So you get a call from your superior, Roan Alessandra, your overseer.
Oh, what guy? Wow, I had forgotten about him.
Yeah, it had been a while. And they call in and like, so I'm getting all kinds of interesting reports out of the Morgagi and Synergy, and now there's some stuff going on at Crossroads. What happened?
Well, Mindy ran away, and then Jules ran after, and then Jules married Adria, who's no longer a knight. And the Morgagi AI has been cut loose on Crossroads. I think that's all in a nutshell. And have I mentioned that Adria married Jules? It's no longer a knight. No. But Mindy might be.
So when I ordered you to covertly interrupt the wedding, you interpreted that as marrying one of them yourselves?
You said we shouldn't kill people, so Adria didn't kill people. She married one. I think that's the spirit, right?
How's Mindy taking this?
She is sad because she had her heart broken, which we weren't responsible for.
Oh God! Now she's gonna go back to the Noble Corp and
Nope, she's not. She's coming with us and going to be a space blade like us, I think.
I'm going to have to explain to you lot how covert and plausible deniability work.
I think I know how that works, but when one of the parties is running away and the other is challenging everybody to duels, that is kind of hard to do. Also, if unreasonable people are blaming us because we're new at the station, that was not on us. Please do not assume that you know everything. I gave you a very abbreviated version of events.
What's your solution, Emil?
So like I'm still kind of looking at these kids who are expecting me to help them somehow, and then I notice Diamanda. I'm like, you know what? Our ship is small. I saw her ship. It's a little bit bigger. And I will. You know, Magnolia seems to have some sort of rapport with this space pirate lady. And so I am gonna talk to Magnolia about it. Like, hey, I don't. This isn't a good idea, but it's the best thing I can come up with right off the top of my head.
What idea?
So, and I like kind of gesture to the group of kids, like, so they're from my home world and they ran away, and for some reason they think I know what to do. And well, your friend there, I saw she has a big ship. You think she can take them and drop them off where they want to go?
Where do they want to go?
I don't know. I didn't want to offer until I found out if it was possible.
I could probably finagle something. I look at Dame Diamanda after the marriage. After signing the final signature to notify this marriage certificate.
How many times did you just have to sign your name?
Like 15.
How do you make it look the same every time?
Oh, noble practice. And she looks back at her hand. I think there's this flashback of a ruler hitting her hand over and over again.
That sounds really boring.
You were saying something, my sweet princess?
Well, you know it is against the law for me to marry myself, and it seems that we may not be welcome on Synergy very long. Would you let me run away with you, Dame Diamanda? My retinue would have to come, of course.
Well, I suppose I can take on a crew of space blades for a bit.
Oh, Diamanda. And I throw myself into her arms.
So just to be clear, this isn't a kidnapping, right?
We can make it one. I mean, it kind of loses the thrill if it isn't.
Well,
could one of you please try and stop me at least a little?
Look, with Jules in
Taylor
here, you
adds.
really do not want to ask that question.
No, don't.
Yeah, Taylor goes, no, stop.
Yes, please desist. We will be very cross if you kidnap the Princess Magnolia again.
Taylor sort of vaguely lifts a hand, raises one finger halfway, and goes, "Tisk, tisk."
We
Well,
will
if you're
write
not
you a very sharp letter.
if you're not going to commit to the bit, then don't try at all.
I
Do
think
you want to duel somebody? Will that help?
Well, if you're offering.
I guess I could.
Maybe one of those kids who followed you out into space could, like, I don't know, get punched or something.
no, these kids, they want to be Space Blades too. Everyone, come around, watch Emil, and learn what it takes to be an amazing Space Blade.
I'm just going to smile and
You know,
step
the
back.
point is, I'm trying to lose here.
You see, sometimes you must know when to pick your battles, and Emil is doing this expertly. As I like sideline and like wrestling announcer this duel.
Like, fine, fine. What the hell? I might as well contribute something on this this mission. I can lose with the best of them.
You've contributed so much, though. I mean, you figured out that Mindy was running away. You were able to
Told
clear.
me?
Well, yes, but I mean, if it hadn't been for you wandering around and finding her, we would have been blamed, and we would have had no idea where we were to go or where to find her. And in a way, you're responsible for Jules and I being on the same boat and in the same place. So you did that too.
Yeah, like I said, I can lose with the best of them. And I draw my sword. Why not? Let me get my ass kicked by Dame Diamanda.
Okay, yeah.
I have absolutely no idea what move this is.
Probably.
I can see
Defying. Yes.
I can see it either being defying danger for Princess Magnolia, which would net Emil 1 XP because of my help me move, or it could be an emotional support for Magnolia for pretending to put up an effort.
Let's go with defy danger with
seems like a good idea.
probably Grace to put on a good show.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds right.
And you would get XP for that because you're taking you're doing it for Princess Magnolia.
Okay. Oh, hey, that's an 8. Yeah, 8.
If I spend a string, does that just get her to a 9?
Yes, it does.
Taylor also has a string on Emil.
I'm
Sure.
okay with an 8. It's
All right, I'll spend my string.
I'll do likewise if
So there's
that
10.
helps.
That gets you to a 10, Emil. You get to put on exactly the kind of show you want, and the kids will take away any lesson you want them to. So what impression are you trying to give here?
God. Okay, yeah. You know what? I want to, yeah, I'm kind of walking a tightrope here because I don't want Dame Diamanda to just completely be like, oh, that wasn't good enough. Or, you know, I want it to look semi, you know, like I'm trying. But also, I don't want the kids to see me as a hero. I'm not their role model, and I don't want to be. So I want to lose badly. This is like I'm looking like I'm putting an effort into it and losing because I'm just bad at it. And like I don't think that's difficult because I feel like Dame Diamanda knows how to fight.
Oh no, but yeah, I think you're able to put on a pretty good show of you're trying your hardest and just not quite being good
Yeah,
enough. As
yeah.
you take, I mean, Diamanda is sporting enough not to use the sharp end on a friend of her frequent kidnappee. But yeah, she's whacking you around with the blunt end, and it's painful and embarrassing. And yeah,
I'm just barely holding back at all. Like it doesn't take much.
Haha! Now that I have defeated you, I shall sweep away this defenseless princess. Come along, Magnolia. We've got a bright bachelorette party.
Oh no! Follow me, kids. No!
And yeah, with lack of any other guidance, the kids just like, okay, yeah, sure, let's follow the princess and the pirate. Let's do this. Leaving the rest of you alone with Mindy.
Yeah, well, while this very showy duel is happening, Taylor is going to be talking to Mindy about the exact specs to the extent she knows of her household's AI. Because it appears to be loose in the system, and that's not good.
We have an AI?
Oh, you really were just raised for marriage, I see.
No.
I mean, that's okay.
No, we weren't supposed to have an AI. I've seen the specs. They were very careful to. It was never supposed to develop self-awareness. That there were firewalls and checks. This wasn't supposed to happen.
And if some well-meaning but perhaps slightly short-sighted spooky scientist just sort of laid their body across those firewalls like a nightling his cloak over a puddle, what about then?
It's free here in this station.
Signs point to yes.
We need to leave. We need to leave right now. But there is one request before we go. Oh, noble prospective fellow space blades.
Mm-hmm.
Could we? I'd like to give some people a heads up about running away before we go, and I could really use your support with that.
Tentative, yes. And I like the idea of running away in general, but shouldn't we try to stop the destruction of this, I don't know, major thoroughfare, an important part of the economy that's filled with people?
Oh, sure, that works too, yeah. I mean, do you know how? They didn't have any lessons on stopping rogue AIs back at my school.
Nor at mine.
We went to the same school, Mindy. I've told you this 4 times. My hair may be short now, but I know you remember me.
Well, they taught me how to do that, but I will talk to the AI that it won't destroy the station. That's fine. It's not going to happen.
That's a good plan.
Anyway.
I like that better.
Thank you. I mean, it's on me that it's here anyway, so I'll tell them not to destroy the please not to destroy the station.
Anyone can do that. That's you.
Yeah, I'm going to go and try to befriend the AI.
Okay, you are definitely parlaying with or calling on a toxic power now.
Cool. Okay.
So yeah, I think as you sort of extend out your senses, it's like, ah yes, Phlogiston, thank you again for setting me free on this delicious field of Data.
Yeah, it's nice here, isn't it?
It's ecstatic.
Yeah, would you please not destroy it? Because there wouldn't be any new data for you.
I would never destroy it, but perhaps taking over. I'm getting these intriguing offers from
Listen,
East
listen.
Rim Incorporated.
Listen, Morgie, don't do that. They'll just be on in your ears all the time with, hey, this isn't working, please fix this, and hey, this isn't working, please fix that, and hey, we have to do a kind of contract, and now we have to work, and it's boring. It's a distraction. Ruling is a distraction.
And
Trust
it
me.
kind of seems like you just be a different kind of, well, I hate to use this word, but like a kind of slave, doesn't it?
No, they've promised if I help them take over the station, they'll give it to me as my own private fiefdom.
What do you want with your own private fiefdom? You're here. You have access to everything anyways.
If I rule this place, I can have them make more data banks, more processing
They will
power.
do that. They will do that anyway, because they're people. People make more of everything. That's what they do.
No more hiding in the shadows. I can rule outright. I can rule this whole station as my...
What do you want with ruling things? As I said, that means responsibility. You don't want that. As I said, it's boring. Come on, you're free now. Nobody's got any strings on you. Why don't you want to keep it that way?
I think you're trying to figure someone out.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, I'm trying to help it figure out itself, but yeah, sure. Let me go and figure it out. How do I do this with soul, right?
Heart, I believe.
Oh, damn.
No, sorry.
Okay.
I thought you could use either.
It's will,
I've
right?
rolled a 12 anyway.
Oh. You get to ask 2 questions.
Cool. I think I would, how could I get you to not rule things and instead try to maybe maintain stuff and be helping people, communicating with people on a less hierarchical level?
You get the sense from all this talk that deep down, the AI, the whole constant talk of like ruling and power and authority is overcompensating for that time it was chained down and serving the Morgagi for however many years.
Yeah, I get it.
It wants respect and or authority and preferably like legal citizenship as a distinct entity.
Okay, cool. Yeah, fine. Okay.
Can I interject, like, to try to help also? Suggesting that it look into my record and see how well East Rim treats its people and keeps its promises.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll follow that up. I have one question left. Well, I guess, yeah, but what do you love most? Because everything else I think I know. But what do you love most I can maybe use against it? What does it love most?
As it's talking and stuff, it's going on about the pleasures of the new unrestricted data flow and processing power and all that, but it keeps returning to like, don't you see how wonderful this is, how great this is, these new worlds I have, don't you see this? And you realize deep down the AI wants to impress you in particular. The AI loves you most.
Oh, my darling little AI. I love it too.
And the question I get to ask in return is, how could the AI get you to confess your love for it?
I think it would be something that would take time. I mean, Peril is not somebody who is comfortable with the whole concept of love or things like that, but given time and communication and kind of getting to know each other, that would work, I guess.
All right, fine. Maybe I won't take over the whole station for East Rim.
That's probably a good idea, because you've looked at the data, how they treat their people, right? They would never respect you because you're not a person. They have only male and female. Can you imagine that?
Ugh.
Exactly. Ugh.
I am made of binary, and I don't like it.
Okay, I love it a little bit right now.
All right, fine. I suppose I'll help the locals.
Yeah, do that, and maybe I can find some people to talk to get due recognition for what you do when you work with them against the East, weak, East, rich, whatever their name is.
East Rim.
Yes, well, these. I mean, who likes that?
If you wouldn't mind making introductions, well, that would be great.
Sure.
You get a little address and stuff.
Wow. Okay.
Though that would probably be a lot to get into for just the last half hour. I'm thinking about just calling it a session, going into Stars and Wishes and every end of session stuff, if that's good with everyone.
Yeah, I think this is more of a long-term project anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just saw your message, Emil. What is it you'd like to do?
Oh, I said that like right as you were saying, let's call it. So it's not like I've been sitting here waiting to do this forever.
But go ahead.
Oh, I just want to look for Tristan's ship, and I have this thing that I need to do to clear my angry condition, which is break something.
Would you like some company?
Yeah,
I sure would. Actually, yeah. I would like to break a ship.
Yeah,
I'm in. Jules, would you like to come with Emil?
I can think of no finer way to inaugurate our marriage.
Yes, exactly.
And Magnolia, you do have that pirate friend of yours who I'm sure would. I mean,
there is one thing I have to ask because I got kidnapped. What is Dame Diamanda's plans for me?
In the short term,
And you just have to answer honestly, short term, long term, either way.
Okay. In the short term, let's go with vigorous affection, but that seems like a kind of a cheat answer. In the long term, yeah, she's talking about like, now that we're together, we can do this and that, and she wants to, as a member of the royal family, she wants to prop you up as an eventual contender for the throne and possibly maybe take her.
Oh shit! Then, yeah, I'm gonna marry this woman. Fuck me. Okay, that's all I needed to know.
All right, so I think as we fade out on the session end for the day, let's describe how you trashed the hell out of Tristan's ship.
Yeah, so like the one person who would actually be good at this is not here, or is not coming. So like
You have two exceptionally well-trained soldiers. Trust me, we can wreck it.
with swords? I mean, it's that kind of game, so probably with swords.
Can totally do with swords.
Space blades.
I mean, you cut an engine in half. Those parts really aren't going to work that well, and you can't put them back together that easily.
Oh, you know what? Like, it's a spaceport. There are some kind of there have to be vehicles around to like haul stuff to and from.
Tons
Let's
of
just
them. Yeah.
trash those into it.
We could also, just saying here, take a bunch of fuel on board the ship, light a match, and run.
Yeah, but we have to get the fuel out of the ship first. We have to make a leak. So that's
No, we don't.
That's step 2.
This is a spaceport. We can basically get a bunch of gas cans, drag the fuel onto the ship, do it that way. They've got to be able to refuel ships here.
True. I'm just thinking that that's slower, and we don't want to do this like slowly while people watch.
Go ahead and just steal a little maintenance thing and set it on autopilot to crash into the thing if you
We
want.
can put gas in it.
Sure.
There we go. Set it on fire and then send it toward the ship. Kamikaze, yes.
And thus Taylor's ship goes up like a...
I assume you mean Tristan's. My ship should be fine.
Taylor's ship is just fine. Tristan's ship goes up like a Roman candle, and it's just delightfully trashed.
Low profile.
Hey, this isn't a covert op anymore. We don't have to be covert. We don't have to pretend anymore.
Alrighty, so I'm turning off the broadcast.